Welcome back. Now, we revel in a communal effort among the Bioscope Committee, and we've added this little extra because our Mary Pickford feature film, Heart of the Hills, from 1919, which will be introduced by Kevin Brownlow in a few moments, did have, as with other films at the time, its own associated song. Published in sheet music form and on sale in local music shops as a popular tie-in with a film release. And in the mid-80s, at the Westminster Film Fair, our own Glenn Mitchell came across and bought the English edition of the song, Heart of the Hills, originally priced at 6D, which is the black and white cover you can see on the screen, containing a still from the film itself, whereas the amber cover that you saw a moment ago is from the American edition and has a specially posed portrait of Miss Pickford. Glenn says he photocopied his copy at the BFI where he worked at the time and thinks he remembers giving that copy to Kevin, and then he stored the original in his own filing cabinets where it sat quietly for 40 years. And it's probably been 100 years or so in all for its public moment to come again. The lyrics were written by Sam L. Lewis and Joe Young and composed by Harry Ruby. Glenn tells us that Harry Ruby became Groucho Marx's closest friend after their first meeting in 1923. His best-known work was in collaboration with Burt Kalmar, including major hits such as Who's Sorry Now, which apparently they wrote as a joke and it got out. And the 1920s show song, I Want to Be Loved by You, revived by Marilyn Monroe in Some Like It Hot. And of course, Monroe herself appeared in a Marx Brothers movie. Glenn Mitchell, full disclosure, did of course write the actual encyclopedic book on the Marx Brothers, and he says that Kalmar and Ruby wrote the songs for the Marx Brothers play and film Animal Crackers, and subsequently also became comedy writers variously for the Marx Brothers and other comedians, including Eddie Cantor and Wheeler and Woolsey. After Burt Kalmar's death, Harry Ruby wrote some comedy songs with Groucho Marx, which he recorded for Decca. Thank you, Glenn, for that info. And he requested that we could do this tonight, knowing that I'm a singer on the side, and that on a couple of previous occasions here and in other places, I've revived two silent film era songs, one being Felix Kept On Walking in our 2019 centenary celebration of the cartoon cat. The whole of that presentation, by the way, with Glenn and David Wyatt and myself now being up on our YouTube channel for you to enjoy. And here in 2018, with another 1919 movie tie-in, the song for The Midnight Girl, a short musical comedy which Bob Gagan has in his collection, which led to much research and discovery for me. And enough time has passed for another century-old song to have its moment, probably never to be heard again. Unless, because Glenn tells me he has yet another Mary Pickford film song in his collection, and a song written at the time in general appreciation of the Golden Girl. We could have a kind of Pickford hit parade at an event, a sort of Pickford of the Pops, perhaps. Thank you. Well, we'll see how this goes first. Now, we had a little run through earlier, and I'm delighted to say that Mr. Colin Sell will both accompany the feature film and myself now. So I'll just take a breath and then take it away, Colin. Thank you. Two hearts were sad in the hills of old Kentucky, just a girlie and a barefoot boy. They never dreamed that they ever would be lucky to Two hearts that never knew a day of joy. And they met while at play in the heart of the hills. They were both in the way in the heart of the hills. And just like a mountain chain is linked together, they just linked their hearts to share all kinds of weather. Wedding bells rang out in the heart of the hills. Everything came about just as they planned, and they lived happily ever after in the heart of the hills. They built a home in the hills of old Kentucky. Now the skies above are always blue, and as they roam through the hills of old Kentucky, all of the woodland whispers, I love you. And they met while at play in the heart of the hills. They were both in the way in the heart of the hills. And just like a mountain chain is linked together, they just linked their hearts to share all kinds of weather. Wedding bells soon rang out in the heart of the hills. Everything came about